weekly profile from last week. And the first thing you notice is from last week we did leave this big volume void and TPO void from last week. And the first thing, a theme that I am looking for this week to potentially play out is what we had also going into last roll, is when we did bid up into the all-time highs, all-time low yields, and going into a risk event, obviously Thursday, Friday, ECB and NFP. We saw a bit of softening in the bunds early week, and that's something I will be looking for this week. Plus, with a short bias in the roll, and we never really had an offer since Draghi spoke, and we've had about 130, 140 ticks since then. So there's a potential thing that I'm looking for this week, is if we do get a bit of risk off the table, then looking to come down and fill out this void. But first area of support today, I'll drop this down to the daily, is coming in where we are about now actually. We've got the weekly VPOC coming here at 152.87, and also you got a POC and initial balance low at 89s, 90s. So that is the first area of support I will be looking forward to hold today. Obviously areas to the upside today we don't have any, we only got into clean air. We're at all-time low yields, contract highs. So moving to the upside we don't really have anything, we just sort of have to go off our intraday profile structure. But through the 87s, then again, I mean, this is the first year I would like to see hold for us to start valuing higher. Through here, it does make it a little bit more difficult, because then it does open up, like I was saying before, that theme to start filling out this low volume area. So initially, I don't really like dip buying through the weekly VPOC straight away, but first level we do have is comes to these 81s, this ledge where the volume to drop off from Friday. Through Friday's lows, we do have this exposed 50% and single print, but I mean, like I say, it is a couple of ticks through Friday's lows, so I don't really want to be standing on through there straight away. And then we're back into that low volume TPO void. But the big area that I am looking for either today or tomorrow or early this week will be down towards this low volume node where we broke out on Thursday last week. There's these 52, 59s. Then you got protection of Wednesday's highs at 57s, and then obviously the selling tail at 56s. Through there, it does come down to a bit more of a trickier area. We have got this high here at 43s, and then you've got protection of sort of your volume value area high, open, single print, and also initial balance high. But the problem with this one is it is close to the Thursday's lows, and also your stop on that does have to be quite wide. I mean, you can't really be getting yourself out until through this VPOC. So an area that I do like is if we do start squeezing through here, is in front of this VPOC. What your stop would be, it would really have to be below this day's volume value area low. So they are the areas to the downside for me in the bond. They are the areas that I'm looking to play. But like I say, the theme that I am looking for this week obviously hasn't been supported yet by any technicals, but is just if we do see some softening in the bunds early this week going into ECB, is potential for this gap in value to be filled out. And then like I say, there's nothing really to the upside. But we have got roll this week, so it does make it a little bit more difficult in general. The price section can be a little bit more tougher to read, but like you say, you've all got Euro stocks limits, I believe, so it might be a little bit easier to jump to the equity markets. And moving on to have a look at the stocks now. And I'm sorry, I'll just pull this over here. Sorry, there's some stocks. Yeah, stocks. Yeah, and the first thing. Oh, shit. This is the weekly profile from last week in the stocks, and as you can see, after we've had this explosive move 2 weeks ago, we've sort of consolidated all last week. We had 5 days of sort of sideways trading, and we have left this big gap in value, and we haven't really auctioned it out yet. So it is something potential as well in the Euro stocks this week. If we do see some profit taking, you could see this look to be filled out, or if we do see a disappointment in the ECB towards the end of the week, then we could see this lower volume value area to be traded out. But like I said last week, when we do get these tight consolidations, I really do like leaning on the weekly value area levels, because when we do, I'll drill down to the daily, and it does make it quite difficult to pick out. After all, you had quite a lot of chop zone last week. It does make it quite difficult to pick out nice clean areas, and then also areas where you are wrong. So the way I do like trading these chop zones is I really do like leaning on how the market reacts around the value area lows and highs. And as you can see today, we've just come in this morning and we've held, that's the TPO value area low came in at 18s, and then the volume value area low coming in at 16s. So it is the area that we are holding at the moment. So if we do break out of value and then snap back straight back in, then I am looking for more of a balanced session. And then to the upside, we have got the TPO value area high coming in at 42s, and then the volume value area high on the week coming in at 39s. So there are areas that I will be looking to pay attention to and see how the market does react around those areas. But it is the first of the month today, and I know that all the equity guys do like to buy in the European and US equities on cash open. So there's another play that we'll be looking for. But areas to the downside, like I say, I want to see how it does react around these 18s, 18s to 16s. If we do see buyers snap back through, then I will be looking to play a more balanced day, as opposed to if we broke out here on volume, then it's suggesting to me that this market wants to value itself lower, and I don't really like standing in the way of a market that's trying to reject a weekly value area. Then areas to the upside, like I say, the first area I will be looking to are these 42s. If we can break out of here and hold a bit outside here, then I will be looking for the market to value itself higher on the week. And then we had last week's high would be the first area that I'll be looking to see the reaction through at 32.51, and then we get to an old weekly high at 32.63, which comes back all the way back from here, and then we break up into, like Dan spoke about last week, quite a key area that I think it could be going forward. These low volume node here at 32.71, and you got a bit of a cluster of areas around here. You got initial balance low, exposed midpoint, and open. And then above there, we sort of get into this little wee distribution that we did have from this week. And the top of that distribution, that would be an area that I'd be looking towards, would be these 32.87s. But like I say, it is quite a big area, sort of from this this low volume node all the way up to these mid to high 80s. So I think if we do get there quite quickly in the Euro stocks, I think it will be a level that that you would really want to be paying attention to, and it should look to slow down and find some resistance. But yeah, like I say, going forward today and early this week, so we are sort of in a wait and see mode into the risk events on Thursday and Friday. So I will be paying attention to this value area and how we react. Very similar to like I was talking about a couple of weeks ago before we broke out, how we folks broke to the downside and then eventually we had that explosive move to the upside.